Hi, thank you for joining me today. My name is Amy Vishwanatha and welcome to Techie Housewife. Many of us have one or two old PCs or maybe an all-in-one laying around and collecting dust somewhere. They were probably awesome computers several years ago, but now they've become sluggish and pretty much unusable. However, we can put them to a good use. This project was inspired by ETA Prime's video of converting an old computer to a retro gaming PC. We had an old Lenovo all-in-one Intel 13 machine donated to us by our friend James, and we thought, why not make this a retro gaming PC and put it in our guest bedroom? All-in-ones are perfect for this as they have a smaller footprint and all you need is a game controller connected to it. So first, we need an all-in-one PC. Then we need an SSD, and I prefer SSDs as they load faster than the traditional hard drives that came with these computers. I have used a USB enclosure to plug the SSD into an existing machine to load the operating system. For the operating system, we are going to use Batocera, and it is a Linux-based operating system that boots into an emulation front end just like any multi-game device would. It's very easy to add games and it supports all sorts of controllers, which is pretty cool. So first, what we need to do is download Batocera from its website. Initially, I downloaded the 32-bit version as the 64-bit version was not booting properly. Later, I found out it was just one of the RAM sticks, so I swapped that out for a good one. We need a tool called Rufus to transfer the Batocera image into the SSD drive. You can also use Balena Etcher if you prefer. I used Rufus to transfer. It takes a few minutes, and I have sped it up here just to keep the video brief. Once the transfer is complete, I took the hard drive and I placed it into an SSD adapter, which is needed for my computer as the original cage was for a 3.5-inch drive. After I installed the SSD, it was time to boot the machine. So after I booted, there was a choice to be made of which controller I would use. There was the Moga controller, the 8-bit Do gamepad, which is super popular, or the Xbox controller. So I went with the 8-bit Do gamepad, of course, because it's like one of my favorites. So I loaded up a Nintendo 64 game first. Actually, Mario Kart 64, and it was super fun. You will see that the colors were pretty great on here. The screen has not lost a lot of sharpness or anything like that. It's not washed out. I was so surprised how good it looked on here. Usually an old machine like this, sometimes the screens are washed out, but the gameplay was super fun. So next, I decided I would play my ever-loved Sonic, which this just throws me back to high school, you know? And it's one of my favorites as well for a Genesis system. It looked pretty good. I don't think I had any problems with controls on any of these games, except for the last one I play, and you'll see why when I talk about that. But it worked great, and I can see myself having a lot of fun with this, playing all my favorites from days past. Next, I am playing my absolute all-time most favorite game ever, which would be Super Mario World, and I just wanted to see how that played on here as well and how it looked. Each of these are different systems. I played the Nintendo 64 first. I played Sega Genesis second. This is Super NES. It looks pretty good here, and the gameplay was still great. I always enjoy picking this game up. I don't think I'll ever get bored of this game. One of the best ones from back in the day. I went through here pretty quick. As you can see, not this fast. I sped it up so this video wouldn't be so long, but it worked great. Next, I went to regular Game Boy, and I decided to play a game I've never played, actually. Even though everybody talks about it, I have not played this game. So I just wanted to see how a Game Boy game would actually look on this big of a monitor, and I think it looked really good for what it was. I mean, I could see somebody who is absolutely in love with that game enjoying it. Next, I did go to Game Boy Advance, and you can see this had a slight bit of an issue. I think it was missing some BIOS, but even with that issue, the colors are just so bright. It was great. That is all I have for you today. I hope I've given you some ideas of what you can do with an old computer and how much fun you can have. And if you do have anything like this, you've done anything like this, or you want to do something like this, let me know in the comments below. It's always fun to see what other people have done. As always, have a game-tastic day.